Good evening, and welcome to Forgotten stream. Tonight I'm joined by MixD. We're live casting a Trackmania match between Crazy Machine Chicks and two nervous trackers, the two teams competing in Division 1 of United League Reborn 4 in Trackmania United Forever. And this is round 5 out of 6 in the group stage. After 4 rounds, CMC are leading Division 1 with 10 maps won and 4 lost. TnT are joint second with TFS with 7 maps won and 7 maps lost. And we are going to have 3 maps tonight. The environments are Snow, Island and Stadium. The previous encounter between CMC and TnT featured 4 maps in the other environments: Desert, Coast, Bay and Rally. CMC won 3 of those. Bay went the way of TnT, the rest for CMC. Do you have any predictions for the match, Mix? Or indeed for any other D1 team. Yes, that is what I recall myself. So, as you say, it's a map built by Zooz, so he should have some author advantage there. It's called Trackmania is Dead, and let's have a flyby of the map. The start isn't of particular interest, with some weird jump from this ramp into the corkscrew bit. Then just goes like a roller coaster. Oh yeah. Wormy says 2-1 for CMC is his prediction. Let's see. So the first tricky point is this tube. Well, basically it's not that difficult to drive, but if you go a bit too aggressive, clip a bit on the inside, you're basically just flying clean out of the map like this. So you basically need to be either inch perfect and not clip the inside, or you have the option to brake, which slows you down, or you can just drive it as a wall ride, which is also slower, but from what I hear it's safer. Then you drop . Yes, so you drop there, go into... oh my god, I'm not really used to these controls. Go into this bit, and the interesting parts commence right here. So you go into this bank turn. There are 2 options. You can either jump there, or you can just go straight on the road. The jump is a bit tricky because you can miss the booster or do it like MixD and crash into the wall. And if you just drive, depends on your reaction times, you can just crash here on the right of the checkpoint into the road borders. And straight after that jump or a transition from off-road to the road, you have this uphill and a massive jump, which doesn't really look tough, but at that speed it is quite tricky to judge just where you need to aim. Sometimes you can even overcook it and fly out of the map after bugging on the landing. And yeah, you might see people respawning mid-air. Then there are chances to get some bugs here and there. Nothing really to catch people out here. Oh my god, I need to get used to these controls. And then you have these jumpy sections. The downhill, which you need to take without any jumping, which is apparently faster. And there's a reuse of the start section, because this was originally a FET map. FET is Formula Electronic Tournaments, a multi-lap competition. And we have this finish, which you can cut by jumping here, and you can actually clip the, well, trigger the finish by not even going through the finish. But that is risky. But if it's a close round, that could make all the difference, and considering this is Division 1, we can see it coming into play. It is indeed. And we are going to be starting in just a few seconds. And the lights are out, and away we go into round 1 on this pretty difficult snow map. Zooz with a good start alongside Passi, the two fastest drivers according to Dedimania on this map. Let's see, no mistakes in the tube, as we would expect. Zooz and Passi fighting for the lead. Ezom going a bit wide. And ooh, Zooz has crashed into the checkpoint. Some people going a bit too slow, too conservative on that jump. And Arubiano is out in front, followed by Garfovsky and JumperJack. So we saw Ezom making a mistake and dropping time. Garfovsky is pursuing Aru. And let's see if JumperJack and Aru hold their positions. Zooz only needs to finish to make it a round win for CMC. Aru wins, JJ third. I saw Garfovsky actually going the risky way at the finish, and he didn't fail. So yeah, Zooz does finish, and first blood to CMC.
Anyway, first round was crashing as we had There are some worse disadvantaged JJ and Garfovsky. They both got away with it. They both tried that. Anyway, the TnT right.
Yes, that's an interesting situation actually. Both of those drivers going for the risky finish. I was not expecting that, but if you think about it, Garfield probably thought that JJ would have gone for it and could have overtaken him, so he had to take the risky finish. And JJ had gone for the risky finish to try and overtake. Although I don't see why he would want to do that when Arrow is first and he is third. And there was nobody behind. But yeah, some interesting mind games there. And Roa is telling me that people can barely hear your mix. Could you possibly do anything about it? Okay, so at the moment we have Passi and Ezom leading the round. Zooz has finally managed not to crash in front before that jump. He is attacking and passing Ezom for second. Ooh, he made a mess of it. At the downhill, went clean off the track, and with Arrow 6 seconds behind first position and Zooz 5 seconds in arrears, it is a hopeless round for CMC. And TnT duly take it. And what do you mean no in-game sound? Should be there, just a bit quieter. MixD, are you with us?
I'm here, but I'm not sure what I can do about my volume. Sorry, got that right. Ooh, JJ, too bad arrows. We are moving up the rear right now. JJ and arrows there. So, TnT, will they just go safe? But I do believe they're all protecting back together. I'm gonna watch them because basically back them what mistakes they make and also makes the lead. Passi lost a little bit of time, but they're still right there. They're not in danger right now. He's 28 behind Passi.
I actually have an idea of what could be happening. That is, well, I'll have to do that after the map is over. I think it's about the issue is the controller. I mean the input device for sound, which could have changed after I installed a new monitor. I'll have to look at it. Anyway, it is 2 for 2 and we're into round 5. Passi with a small crash there at the landing. 3 CMC drivers up ahead, followed closely by Ezom and Passi. What happened to Passi there? Is he still with them? He is indeed, just dropped a bit of time. Ezom is fighting with such a tight pack with 5 cars separated by less than a tenth. Well, they're spreading out a little bit, and JJ made a mistake, and Ezom is a bit slow. Passi passing Arrow and Garfovsky takes the round win, followed by Zooz and Passi, and that should be another round for TnT.
Yeah, probably better to take over
Yes, okay, I will go on until the end of the map and then I'll see what I can do. 3-2 CMC, TnT, sorry, are in the lead. And Garfovsky with slower start than the rest, but he's already ahead of Arrow. JJ, Passi and Zooz are in the lead. Not the best tube there from CMC drivers. Passi and Zooz fighting it out for the first position. And Zooz jumping right on the edge at the landing there. Arrow trying to sneak ahead of Garfovsky, not successful so far. So it is Zooz leading from the 3 TnT drivers, and something has to be done if CMCs want to take the round, but there's a bit of around a second gap between 5th and the last TnT driver, and that is another TnT round. I do wonder if you guys actually can hear every other sounds from my microphone picking up my headphones sound. That would be bizarre. Round 7. Garfovsky with a slow start. Nobody failing at the tube. Passi and Garfovsky a bit too far back by their usual standards, but there will be plenty of opportunities to catch up. And I saw Aru going over the edge of the road. Passi with a messed up landing, also had to respawn. Then JJ made a mistake and dropped some time, and Zooz is trying to overtake Ezom. Let's see if he can succeed. Oh, and he crashes into the checkpoint. And that is a sure TnT round, 5-2. Yes, some bugs, some crashes, and Zooz actually finishes 5th after having fought for the lead for much of the round. They'll have to regroup and start winning rounds, because if they drop just one more... Ooh, JumperJack! No, sorry, that wasn't JumperJack, that was Arrow. Going a bit too aggressive at the start, clean off the map, and will have to respawn. He's out of the round, it's all on Zooz and JJ. And Zooz already crashing. That doesn't bode well. Passi from JumperJack, Ezom and Garfovsky. It's all on JJ. Oh, Passi misses the jump, has to respawn. So maybe that puts some CMCs back in the game, but JJ will have to win it. And Garfovsky with a great line there, going ahead of JJ. And TNTs are 1 and 2, and it looks like it's going to stay that way until the very end of this round. Let's see. Ezom still going for the risky finish, I don't know why. Probably for the glory. He overtakes Garfovsky. And yeah, that is 6-2. Map points already for TnT. If CMC do manage to bring it back, it will be tennis mode. And if they don't, it is a convincing map win for TnT. Round 9. JJ with a good start. Passi finding himself in the lead. I think Zooz didn't have the best line at the tube, dropped some time. Aru also dropping back a little, and it is Ezom has crashed. A tight back up at the front, and JJ also going off. So we have Passi from Garfovsky from 3 CMC drivers, and unless there will be crashes from TnTs, I think they win the round and the map. I just do not see them making any mistakes. Both of them going for the safe finish, 1-2. And Snow goes the way of TnT, 7-2. Good performance from TnT, not so much on the CMC side, not really consistent enough. Anyway, I will have to take a break to fix my technical issues. I think I managed to do just that. Mix, can you please
Yeah,
say
if
anything?
the stream can let us know if you can hear me now.
Your chat was about now. Can you hear Mix? Can you hear the in-game sounds?
The stream lags behind a little bit.
Yes, we definitely have to wait for a little bit. Johnny says it's fine. Rez also confirms. Yes, good. Yeah, I think I'll have to change the default sound device, but later.
But we're back.
Bloody monitor, watching everything up.
That's a good one. A monitor messing up your audio. Okay.
Why do they even build audio into monitors? They're supposed to show pictures, not play sounds. Anyway,
Yeah.
Map 2, Island, Pumbaa Compact by Archon, a legendary famous mapper, who has managed to cook up an impressive map this time. It is fast, furious, difficult, and it's going to be crashing. I personally managed to go almost crashless. Display port, res. But I did crash the very last round, although my teammates managed to win it even without me. So, all good. Let's go through the map then. I need to find the start. I need to fly towards it. So this is the start. Nothing really interesting right here. Then we have a section with alternative routes, as I had found out the right one or the long way is faster. And we have this tricky hairpin where you have to pick a good line because you want more speed as you're exiting it, and then I will need to descend a little bit to show you that this is a downhill section feeding into the 90-degree right-hander. Always a tricky combination, easy to slide out, so yeah, you can go full speed there without any lift, but that is a challenge. So then we're going into this, well, pretty benign section, although this very turn, it's so innocent, but so easy to just crash there. Then you drop onto the platform section, careful not to clip the road, which sometimes does happen. Another section with alternative routes. I initially thought that you were supposed to go the long way around, and this was just a respawn route. Apparently, the fastest way through this section is to aim for this narrow gap here and just power slide your way into the tunnel. And in the tunnels we have a set of chicanes, which are once again benign in appearance, but pretty evil as it turns out. And then there is another tunnel chicane, and when you clip those curbs you can flip your car over. Then there's the tube where you have to slide, and you have to exit it in the middle unless you want to bump out. No cooking, this is the second map. We already had snow and TnT won it 7-2. Yeah, you want to exit the tube in the middle if you don't want to flip your car over. But then you don't want to have too much speed, because there's a helix which you take on the... Oh my god, Sander is going for the world record or something. Yeah, there's a helix and this tunnel, nothing too tricky there. Then you have to go wide not to slide in this half pipe. And there's another set of chicanes, one to enter the tunnel, then there's a left, 90 degrees left, where you have to go down a gear not to slide, and there's another chicane at the top of the hill, which I didn't have time to show. And you can crash there as well. So that is it for the overview of the map. And it is
places to crash.
And it is going to be absolutely insane, because we have some of the world's absolute best island drivers right here on the server, and they are going to be driving right now. Fingers crossed, this is going to be madness. The lights are out, and away we go. We have Zooz, Sander and Quiksilver against BlackCat, Norman and Passi. And BlackCat going a bit too conservative at that hairpin. Passi sliding out on the downhill turn. Norman, Sander and Zooz out in front. And Norman has crashed into the helipad. We have Zooz ahead of Sander and BlackCat gaining on Sander. Zooz currently going for a... He was going for a 58, dropped half a second in that tube. And BlackCat has crashed, so we have Sander in first, followed by Zooz and Quiksilver, and Sander has slid in the half pipe, dropped into second, and we have a comfortable round win for CMC. Zooz with a 100.7, which would have been a great time in Division 3, but I was expecting some 59s from these guys.
Well, they've got a few more rounds to go. I'm sure we'll see some faster times. Especially Norman, who crashed on that round. Kind of a legend of world records on island. So we can certainly expect him to be sticking his nose in front more than once throughout this match. as we go off, and Quiksilver hits the road, and that is going to lose him a lot of time. He's effectively out. And I saw somebody else going off. Who was that? Quiksilver, Sander going off the edge in a map. So CMC is struggling right now, and Norman has in fact poked his nose out in front, but Zooz fighting back. Ugh. Zooz taking an unexpected line there. I don't know if that's a new strategy for him or if he had to adjust on the fly, but these guys are neck and neck. Norman pulls ahead for a little while. Can Zooz pull it back? It looks like he's going to, but it's going to be super tight, and Norman takes it, but only because... Well, why does he take that point?
Oh.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh my god.
That's interesting.
It wouldn't have mattered, but your theory just doesn't hold up then.
It suddenly got blown out of the water.
Because Zeus had won the first round, and now that they finished with equal times, Zeus was classified second.
But both times were faster than the previous times. I'm holding on to hope there.
Yes, indeed. Okay, so we're tied, and Zeus with a tentative start there. He is in 5th, and we have Norman crashing at the checkpoint. Sander first from Passi, BC, Zooz, and Quiksilver. And Passi sliding out puts 3 CMC drivers into the lead, which they can maintain by just going safely. As for going around that bit in front of the tunnel after the helix, I saw Spezzo doing that every time in our match. So I don't know about Zeus, but that is a valid strategy indeed. So they do continue, and Sander takes the round win ahead of Zeus and Quiksilver. Good times on the board, some low to mid 100 for Sander.
I see Hamster in the chat suggesting that Norman having driven the fastest time in the warm-up, which wasn't official warm-up. I mean, there were still times that sort of would count. Maybe that's what's influenced who got that extra point. Possibility. Honestly, I don't know the answer to that. But anyway, here we go, round 4, with CMC winning 2-1 at the moment, and is that Passi dropping back a little bit? Oof! And another TnT crashes off, so that'll be Quiksilver coming through into 5th, sorry. And with Sander and Zooz out front. Oh, and we had BlackCat make a mistake there. He loses a bunch of times. That's dropped. The TNT's back, and CMC in 1, 2, 3. Should be a nice win for them. Passi hits the wall, so he's falling further back. And no disasters there. Zooz does lose a bunch of time, but BlackCat makes a mistake at the entrance to the tunnel. It's all slippy slidey at the finish there, but CMC do come in 1, 2, 3. And Sander with a 1:00:53, not the fastest time yet. Norman and Zooz hold that. Interesting, Norman with the fastest time equal, but the lowest points, only 8 points for Norman right now.
Yes, a bit too crashy for Norman at the moment. Let's see if he's going to regroup and start driving better, because we all know he can. And we're into round 5, 3, 2, 1 for CMC. We have Sander and Zooz leading away from Norman and BlackCat. And let's see, Zooz probably clipped the edge of that block and dropped some time. BC clipping, a curb in the tunnel, drops a lot of time. And Norman with a better gear change at the helix goes ahead of Sander, but at the moment it is 2, 3 and 4 for CMC, so they would win regardless. And Norman actually slides out at the half pipe, drops a ton of time, so Sander is going to be winning the round. 1:00:24, fastest time so far, and he is supported by Zooz in 3rd and Quick in 5th. 4-1 for CMC.
So 59 still to come. I think we'll see it. I should say that driver points that we see, they're done by Fast, and sometimes Fast does disagree with Trackmania, and I think that was one instance. In the previous round we said Norman only had 8 points. I think according to Trackmania he couldn't have had less than 9. So I'd need to review the footage to check that, but anyway, that's the state of play as Norman crashes off and has to respawn, so he's out basically for this one. And he's got a TnT compatriot in the next place, but he's fighting with Quick. It's not going to matter at the moment because Sander and Zooz are in first place, although Passi is fighting Zooz, and they have swapped positions a couple of times there. Sander out in front with a handy half-second lead, although Zooz is catching up. And they take the 1-2 for a CMC win on that round. Brings us to 5-1.
Yes, and the first 59 on the board for Sander there, and Norman has crashed at the half pipe, dropped
He
an
managed to
enormous
finish.
amount of time, but he still managed to finish indeed. So 5-1 for CMC. Round 7. Can Norman scrape himself off the bottom where he currently resides with 14 points? I think somebody from CMC made a mistake right there. Yes, that would have been Zooz. 3 TnT drivers are in the lead. Passi out in front. Quiksilver is trying to... Ooh, that was a nasty crash there. A bit too wide with the slide. Sander coming through the TnT ranks, and a good line through that pipe sees him snatch the lead, but it is too close for comfort, and we would need some TnT crashes in order to give CMC any chance of winning this round. Sander is pulling away, not crashing at the finish. He does win, but he is followed by 3 TnT drivers, Quiksilver and Zooz, who lost way too much. 5-2.
So CMC suffering from the crashes at that time, and TnT putting in runs with a few to no mistakes. Not quite sure what BlackCat's actual pace is. The best he's put in so far is a 102. I think he is capable of usefully faster than that. We'll just see if he can do it. There are at least 2 more rounds to go, and well, we'll see. Maybe more. Certainly Norman and Passi are trying that, although Passi does lose a bunch of time there as Zooz zooms past him and gets past Norman as well. So suddenly Zooz in the lead. But again, just having one guy in the lead is not enough. He's going to need backup, and he's getting a little bit from Sander, who pulls one more place up. It's still not enough for a CMC round win, but it's tight racing. Everyone is together still as we move into the closing sections of the map. It's a TnT round at the moment. Who can make the difference, Sander or Quick, or somebody crashing from TnT? Ooh, BlackCat a little slow to finish, but Quick crashes it, and Passi disastrously crashes, and that gives the round to CMC. Oof.
My god. What am I just witnessing right there?
Oh, I wish I'd been spectating Passi. I was at the back.
Quiksilver managed to cross the finish line after hitting the finish, just basically falling in slow motion.
Yeah, never give up.
And that is map point for CMC. Sorry, I can't stop giggling after that. BlackCat with a crash, Sander, Quiksilver and Zooz in the lead, followed by Passi and Norman. Zooz with a bad slide. Did he drop too much? No, he didn't. Passi clipped the curb and flipped. Sandy and Quiksilver from Norman and Zooz. Zooz not the greatest line in the pipe tunnel. And Quick with a bad exit. Let's see if Norman is going to do anything about Sander's lead. Sander currently going for a nice 59 there. And Norman slides in the half pipe. Zooz blasting past him with a horn. Sander 59.49 followed by Zooz, and it is 7-2 for CMC. GG.
GG indeed, and what a time to finish with from Sander. The only one to put in 59s in that on that map, and does it by quite a margin. But we see TnT were certainly capable of the times. If you look at them, low 1-0s from Passi and Norman and 101 from BlackCat. They were just a bit too crashy.
But that penultimate round, that was
I
pure.
didn't even realize at the time that Quiksilver finishing was going to be crucial. If he hadn't managed to fall onto his wheels and get through the finish, maybe that's what made the difference with CMC winning that round.
I was just watching him falling in slow motion. He did manage to finish. Okay, last map for tonight. Tampi by Wormy, a CMC2 driver. I'm just trying to find the start. There it is. I didn't train the map. I cannot say too much about Stadium because I don't understand anything about the environment. So there's a hairpin at the start with some poles. I hate you for that, Wormy.
Somebody kick me. Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Seriously?
Yeah, I don't know. I timed out. I'm sitting watching it and I'm just... It's okay.
The only thing I see in chat is Vincent being put into red team. Anyway, so there's a tricky uphill section where you can get everything wrong if you don't steer in time. Then there's the downhill section. You can go through the checkpoint diagonally or less diagonally by going through this gap. We are probably going to see a bit of that. Just some regular roads there, and there's a dirt section. Let's see who is going to be better at mastering the black magic of dirt, because that is just not the same stuff as tarmac. And there's an actual dirt hairpin there, which is always interesting to watch. I hope it's going to be as interesting as it was in our yesterday's match. Then some more tarmac here and there, nothing too interesting. A couple of boosters, a fake way. Wormy, what is this about? Seriously, what? You're coming here, there's a road going straight ahead with a sign pointing right there. But no, the actual faster way is going left through the off-road with smaller signs. Wormy, don't be such a TMX maze mapper. Build something proper where you have to go through the roads, not through... And learn to place signs as well. So yeah, that's a little bit of a rant.
It's tradition, isn't it? I mean, it's sort of a kind of a thing with United League Reborn that we complain about maps for excessive amounts.
Meanwhile, Passi with a Daddy Top 2, 1:10:01, an impressive time. Yeah, there's a grass slide at the end and a bumpy jump through to the finish, and there's an alternative finish there. And that
Just
is
in
it.
case you mess up. Yep, that secondary finish can come in handy. I was thinking with on the last map, Quick's accident at the finish, what we really need is like a face cam to see the driver reaction in such situations.
Yeah, that was an 11-10 round, so that would have been crucial. So, what are our predictions for the stadium map? We have an incredible lineup on the TnT side. Passi, one of the best stadium drivers out there at the moment. Luffy, also damn quick and pretty consistent as well. Ezom, well, he isn't such a top tier driver, but he's good enough for Division 1. I'm not 100% sure about the CMC lineup. I think we're going to have Roa, who is an absolute monster. Sander, who is a Trackmania Nations legend. And I think either Vincent 2100 or Arrow. Arrow says he's feeling confident, and Vincent says he won't be better than Quali. So it's probably Arubiano then. And that is interesting. He wasn't really a Stadium Division 1 driver back in the day, but nowadays, especially after some Trackmania shenanigans, he's getting better at Stadium. So let's see what he's going to do tonight.
Yeah, deciding the lineup in warm-up. Even in Division 1 it can happen. Just depending on how drivers feel at the time and how they seem to be getting into the zone. I was going to say the flow of the map, but Zooz will crucify me for that.
Quick, thank you. I'm not quite sure. Did Sander actually crash at all on island? Do you remember, Mix?
I missed that if he did.
Yeah. I definitely will have been outscored by Sander. Not sure about... Ah, no, he definitely crashed one time at least. I remember him respawning after the slight turn. Well, I cannot wait to see the stats for Ireland. To see whether or not I make top 10 there on that map. But Sander will definitely be ahead of me, that is for sure.
This is JumperJack's server. He's put in a lot of dead time between maps. Yeah, I should get him to fix that.
Shock says both Sander and I had 47 points. Interesting stats. Anyway, we are underway with the third map, Stadium, Tampi by Wormy, and I believe Luffy made a mistake right there at the start. Sander has crashed into a pole at the uphill, I mean, and Roa is fighting Passi for the lead, followed by Ezom and Arrow. And Sander is languishing in arrears. Wow, we're into the dirt section. Does Roa have any tricks up his sleeve? Arrow looks like he does have, but no, Ezom is better at the hairpin. Pulls ahead of Arrow, and Roa isn't quite able to match Passi. But Arrow doesn't really agree with the fourth position, but he will crash. And that will surely be a TnT round win for now, unless we're going to see any crashes. Passi safely through, 110 low, an impressive round by all accounts, and he is followed by Ezom and Luffy, 3rd and 4th. First blood for TnT.
Passi only 0.27 away from the top round's time, so yeah, that's quite a statement to make on the first round. Oh, and I should say, although CMC are winning maps 4-2, that all maps count, so this does still... Everyone's still going to be playing seriously, even if it wasn't just for the glory, but sorry, even if it was just for the glory. It does count. Anyway, Roa out front, followed by Sander, Passi and Luffy. Sander drops a little bit, Passi and Luffy get past him. Oof, some risky lines there, but Roa stays in front. At the moment it is a CMC win as Aru creeps up to Sander. Doesn't quite get past yet. Roa's dropped back. Sander makes a mistake. Now Passi and Luffy in 1 and 2. That's a handy TnT lead. Can they hold on to it? Passi way out front. So the only chances are for Passi really to crash. I mean, it's possible to get past Luffy, or for Aru to get past Luffy, but that wouldn't be enough. So as TnT go in 1-2 and they take another round, 2-0 to TnT.
Yes, another strong round from Passi, another 110, and just a little bit too crashy from Ro and Sander. Not quite the performance I'm expecting. Let's hope they're going to warm up and start driving better. Round 3. No mistakes so far. We're going into the uphill, everyone safely through. Roa crashing there. Sander is trying to do something about Passi, who is currently just 0.12 slower than the fastest rounds time in Derry. Make it 600th. We'll see. So somebody, I think Roa, going way too wide at the hairpin, so he's currently lost. And Sander actually managing to pass Passi, and Arrow will have to hold on to his 3rd position. He is chased by Ezom, who gets a better line, gets ahead, and that is a round changer. Arrow will have to get back at him, but Roa meanwhile manages to overtake Luffy, and I saw some crash from CMC, and yet Luffy did finish last, with Sander winning the round 10.69. It is 11.10 for CMC.
Yeah, some scary occurrences at the end there. Now wait a minute, what's happened? Oh,
Somebody didn't start or something?
Yeah, they seemed to drive off to the left and... Sure. Sander seems to be stuck on the start line. But that's okay, we know the score is 2-1 to TnT at the moment, so we can always, even if people finish their round, we can always go back if necessary.
Something has happened to Sander. He's apparently either AFK or his game has crashed.
It's odd, there's no net lost, so it seems like he's still connected.
Yes, something is going on. No news, nothing. Just disappearing. Let's hope he's going to return to some activity sooner rather than later.
I'm just quickly looking on Discord, see if there's anything from Sander, but nothing. So okay. So yeah, I saw on that first round when Sander crashed into the pole. It's one of those alternate lines where you can decide pole near the start as you go uphill. You can decide whether to go to the left or to the right, and the faster route is to the left. But you know it's hard to make it, and that's what Sander had been aiming for. Obviously realised he wasn't going to make it, switched strategies, but was too late. And that's what caught him out there.
Apparently something has happened in real life and Sander had to go AFK. Well, I hope they're finally going to go live now. After plenty of rounds wasted, so I'll have to actually use mods in order to be able to tell which round we're in, and we are into round number 4. Finally back live.
Indeed, and Roa takes an early lead. And Sander fighting him for it. Passi and Luffy following behind, and of course at this point in the map there's not much in it. Nobody has crashed. Aru is at the back by 2/100ths, and he gets past Ezom. CMC in 1 and 2 at the moment. Well, I'm not going to say it's safe because it's far too close for that. Aru gets a slightly better turn at the hairpin, but he's still behind Ezom. Oof, loses time there. Okay, so he drops back. So now Roa starting to pull out a stronger lead. Sander following him, but it's still tight. They can't safe it at this point. They still need to be pushing, and TnT are going to want to be applying the pressure to see if they can get them to make some mistakes. Sander does make a mistake, but it's 135 for CMC. They still get the round.
Yes, even with that mistake he still finishes 3rd, and Roa back at his brilliant best with a 1:10.53. Johnny asking for the results of Mech CMC2. CMC2 won 3-0 yesterday, Johnny. And round 5, the score is tied 2-2. Somebody that would have been Ezom, not with the greatest line. After the uphill section, Aru is currently last, but Sander and Roa in the lead, being chased by Passi and Luffy. Does Passi have some tricks up his sleeve? Apparently so. He does get himself into the mix ahead of Roa and currently ahead of Sander as well. Cuts away nicely through that turn, and there would have to be some overtaking on the CMC side if they want to win the round, because Aru is still in last position and Roa has crashed, and it's all up for Sander and some help from TnT, but they don't look to be too helpful. Good round from Passi and Sander, 10:45, 10:58, and it is 3-2 for TnT.
Yeah, Roa had to push there, had to risk a bit to try to rescue the round, but of course the risk is that you crash. Yeah, it's just the way it goes. Okay, so we come up to this risky pole. Who goes left, who goes right? Passi goes right. Does drop back a little as you would expect with that line, and that gives Roa with a useful, although small lead. They are 0.2 ahead, Roa and Sander ahead of the closest TnT, who is Passi. So right now, a chance for CMC to pull back around, but it is, everything can change at this point, of course. Plenty of the map still to go. And even the last place driver, Ezom, is not far behind. Luffy hits the wall and he falls into last, but even then, not by much. Passi into first place, but CMC with 2-3-4 would be a win. Roa and Passi, oh, this is so tight. But Roa really should be thinking about safing it because he does not need to win. But I doubt if that thought even enters his mind. He's keen to get it, but on this occasion didn't manage, but nevertheless a 10-11 win for CMC. As Ezom got past Aru, well, kind of. They had the same times in that
Yes.
round.
Roa hungry for those round wins, obviously. Didn't quite manage to make it stick, but it's still went the way of CMC. Well, not the greatest start from the CMC drivers, but I believe Ezom face planted there, did he? Definitely. Sander is in the lead, but he has Passi for close company. Roa made a mistake before the dirt section, and Passi is doing his best to overtake Sander. Sander helping him out with that mistake, and it is somebody probably with a Rammstein bug there. That would have been Roa. He is currently lost. Passi leading from Sander and Luffy, who are neck and neck. Sander just inching ahead, but that just will not be enough, because Passi is first, Luffy is still third, and they finish like that. And TnT take the lead for now, 4-3 for them.
Yeah, so Roa getting taken out by the Rammstein there, throwing his car into the air. Hillis is proud. 4-3 for TnT as we go into the 8th round. Roa and Sander again taking the lead, and again chased by Passi. Oof. Sander get a bit of airtime going over the crest there? Oh no. If he did, it wasn't too bad. Passi does get past him. But not for long. So is even Aru. Aru goes past Passi as well. So Passi's going to be wanting to fight back. Makes a good effort at that hairpin. Oof. It looked good, but he got a slow exit. So the TnT's struggling on this round. Are CMC going to feel confident enough to safe it? And they should. Certainly Roa and Sander should. Maybe Aru's still feeling nervous with Luffy only 0.2 behind, but no need for him to risk either. He'd lose one place, no big deal. Losing 3 starts to get worrisome. 1, 2, 3 for CMC, and we draw level again.
Yes, and 1:10.25 for Roa there, an incredible time, tying Passi's best match time at the moment. 4-4, round 9. Are we going to go into tennis mode? That would have been exciting. Probably not so much for the drivers. I think Ezom must have made a mistake at the uphill section. He's 3.5 seconds away from the lead, make it 4.2. We have Roa and Sander in the lead, but Aru is fighting Passi for third position. Passi with some good lines there, but Aru not quite able to make it stick, drops down into 5th, and Passi makes a mistake, which he will not probably be able to forgive himself for, but he's still 4th because Aru must have made a mistake and he's in 5th. Well, Sander and Roa should just save it, and Roa doesn't. He crashes out, and that is a massive blow, because with Sander finishing first and Aru only 4th, Roa's last position gives the round win to TnT.
Yeah, the teamwork breaking down a bit for CMC there. Of course, it is hard for some of these drivers to to back off and go safe when they just they always want to be driving at their top performance. But top performance in rounds mode doesn't mean necessarily getting the fastest time. But them's the brakes. Passi goes into an early lead and holds on to it, being chased down by Roa and Sander. And Passi needs backup from his teammates. There's only 1 point, or there was only 1 point in the round, but Aru gets ahead of Luffy. And now it's looking a bit stronger for CMC. Aru with a slow exit from the dirt there. Sander in the lead. Passi get it back. Well, even if he got it back, the backup that he needs from his teammates is not there right now. Ezom is 2 seconds behind Aru. So it's going to be just the entertaining fight at the front with Passi and Sander. There are going to be exciting crashes. Both these guys are going to be pushing because the hell with safety. Passi gets it this time. But CMC with 2-3-4 get the round win. And that's 5-5, which is kind of pseudo-tennis mode. At this point, you have to win by 2 points. There's no other way. Even though we only say tennis mode kicks in at 6-6.
Yeah, this is an interesting match so far. Passi winning that round by 300th of a second, 100th of a second. Definitely not willing to relinquish anything he can score in that match. He's currently in comfortable first position, chased by Rowan and Sander, and then there's Luffy. And Aru is currently in last position, and Sander clipping the checkpoint there. That is not going to do the team any favors, and Rowa probably with a no slide. Dropping a lot of time, and that puts Passi and Luffy into the first 2 positions and make it Ezom in third as well. Well, this just doesn't look any good for CMC currently. Can TnT drivers make it interesting by crashing at the end? No, they won't. Roa overcomes Ezom, but that doesn't change anything. 6-5 map point for TnT.
I heard a horse neighing in the middle of that. I think it was Aru, whose hooves must have slid on the dirt hairpin and went down. Maybe he broke a leg there, I don't know. But 6-5, so potentially TnT could win the map on this round. Or CMC, by winning, could force it into official tennis mode, where they have to win by 2 points. But as I say, even once you reach 5-5, you can only win by 2 points. So Luffy gets past Sander. Briefly, does he hold on to it? He does, and Passi does the same. Luffy gets the Ramstein, lifts the car into the air, but he doesn't lose a bunch of time for that. And Sander fighting, gets past him briefly, but not for long. And does it again, and Luffy pulls it back again. Back and forth. It's still a CMC round though, no matter that fight. And with Ezom 3 seconds behind Aru and Roa out front, this could be CMC, and they do have 1-3. All they need is Aru to finish. He does finish. So official tennis mode is enabled. And TnT are cursing it. I think they've had bad luck on tennis mode so far.
Tennis mode once again. If I'm not mistaken, they've had tennis probably in every match so far. Correct me if I'm wrong. Zooz calls it too nervous for tennis. Let's see. Can they win in this time? They definitely have some tennis mode victories. And we are into round 13. which would have been lost without the tennis mode, but it just won't be this time. Roa is in first position, followed by Passi, Sander and Luffy, who were inseparable a few seconds ago, and now Sander has dropped back. We have Roa leading and Ezom in last position. As things stand, it would be an 11-10 round win for CMC, and Luffy made a mistake there, allowing Sander to come through into third position. Passi will be trying to overtake Roa. Let's see if he's going to be successful, but he's half a second adrift, so probably not going to be able to do much. Roa with a 1:00.26, another great round from him, followed by Passi, Sander, and that is a 7-6 for CMC.
Of course, without tennis mode, that would be the map. That would be a CMC win. So, we'll see if tennis mode will make the difference. But either way, TnT can't complain, win or lose. Without the tennis mode, they would have lost. Maybe they can pull it back this time. They certainly have the speed. But right now, Roa and Sander in the lead, with Luffy lagging 0.3 behind, Aru in last place. But TnT 3-4-5 is not a winning configuration. They're packed tightly together. I think somebody tied their shoelaces together or something, although it hasn't really tripped them up. Aru again with a slow exit from the dirt. So he's falling behind. Ezom makes a mistake. I don't know if he hit the wall or had a Ramstein, but he drops behind Aru. Sander losing time. He lets a couple of TNTs get past. This is still a CMC round, but only by 1 point. Is Roa gonna go safe? What's his decision this time? Bets in the stream, please. And he does make it to the finish. And Sander and Aru back him up with the 4-5, and that's a CMC win. It's 8-6 on this map. Congratulations.
8-6 and 11-10 in the very last round. That was so intense. Passi, incredible performance, 71 points, outscoring his closest competition by 14 points there. He was on fire.
Yeah, and the equal best time with Roa. Yeah, it's points that really tell you about the round's performance, and Passi away in the lead in this instance.
That was surely an exciting match. The stadium did deliver.
So, over the 7 environments, CMC win 5-2, although really it was closer than that would suggest.
Oh yes, obviously. Especially with 2 maps going into tennis mode.
Did I say 5-2 or I don't know what I said. Anyway, 5-2.
Yes, you said 5-2 and that is correct.
I thought I had a brain fart and said 7-2.
No, you did not. So, yes. 5-2 for CMC in this particular matchup. I believe they went 6-1 against Airvan, only dropping Coast. Against TnT they dropped Snow and Bay. I am not quite sure how the TFS Airvan match went, or maybe it's still going.
I think that's probably still running.
And now we only have round 6 of the group stage with 4 more maps. Coast, Desert, Bay and Rally. And CMC are going to be playing TFS. I wonder how that is going to go.
Oh, we've got results for TFS Irvin. TFS won 5-2.
Okay, how did this particular matchup go?
So TFS 1 Snow 7-3, Island 7-1, and Irvin 1 Stadium 7-1.
Okay, thank you, and thank you, Johnny. So, yeah, that is it from us for tonight, I guess. Do not forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be providing more content in the form of ULR4 streams, that is for sure. No matches are planned so far for round 6. So do subscribe, hit that bell notification not to miss any updates, and we shall see you soon.
Good evening.
See you guys.